Hey everyone, welcome to Angeldust Live. I'm Firefly Lucas, your host for the stream, and today we are playing Angeldust again, the action RPG for Windows, Mac, iPad, iPhone, Android tablets and phones, and Linux. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel to never miss the live show, and if you're on Twitch, hit that follow button. Thanks, much appreciated. So, this is the second ever development live stream, and let me get the game showing real quickly, because this is always a little bit different when I'm doing the development stream. So here we go, there's the game. So we've got a few people on YouTube already, Angelio, Scobworthy, Infamous, Obi is there. Yeah, reload the video indeed. So everything should be working, the microphone is also working, which is pretty cool. I'm also watching on Steam, so if you've got some questions, let me know there. I'm also trying to get Steam on this monitor over to my left again, but this never worked in the past, so hopefully it will work today, we'll see. Anyway, I'm not going to explain the game because you already know and love the game. If you want to know more about the game and play with me, you need to go to the regular Angeldust Live episodes and streams. Right now this is a development stream, so we're going to take a look at a new or some of the new features for Angeldust 3.9, the next update that is coming, hopefully pretty soon. So anyway, again, I'm on the testing server, so you can't actually join me today, and I'm playing as Adam here, so that's kind of an alternate account. Let's use a capital A here, which looks a bit nicer. But first, let's go into the options. Is space in the place? Hey, Gaston, everyone. I hope you're healthy and doing fine. There's been this coronavirus thing, of course, so I hope everyone is doing fine and is either at home or maybe at work or maybe at school. But hopefully everything is well with your health. First things first, we're going to go into the options menu. This is something that Walker requested just 3 or 4 days ago, and it's already implemented. So if I go to the options menu, you can now see that the volume is actually shown as a percentage. So Colt said like the low volume is not low. So I'm like okay. So there's now a few more options. So you can actually turn it up all the way to 100%, of course. You can turn it down in increments of 10%. So there's actually 2 lower volume levels now, Colt. So previously it was 33%, that was low. Now it will snap to 30%. And you can actually go all the way to 0%. So there you go. Hey Niels! And Obi says it's snowing here, fun times. Well, it's actually great weather outside here, so I was just sitting in the sun right before the stream, and I hope to go back to the sun as soon as possible. So we're going to look at this real quickly. Hola! Ooh, oh, 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 oh. My face hurts, all of these expressions. So anyway, this is fixed. Something that no one has ever reported, but which is also fixed, is when you use the dead zone on your controller, which is actually the range of the stick in which it doesn't work, in which input isn't generated. There used to be a double % sign here, so if you check out Angeldust 3.8, you will actually see 25% here. I fixed that as well, because why not? But anyway, the volume is now settable in 10% increments. This also works on mobile devices, so you don't have to edit text files. Anyway, let's go out of the options menu, and 33% is actually the low setting of 3.8. So it takes over the old setting and it shows 33%. Once you start fiddling with it, it will snap to the 10% increments. The old option low is 30. Yeah, OB has got it right. Anyway, I'm going to sign in with Adam here. I'm at my house. This is kind of a development build that I use for testing different things. What I need to do is go into the world, so I'll open up my telecharger as usual, and we'll teleport to my latest claim right here. Also, if you've got ideas or if you want to have me try something out, the mimic blocks are still working in this version, so that's like I build upon feature upon feature. So if you want to see something in practice with the mimic blocks, let me know, and we can probably try it out or test it out on the stream. So this is my latest claim on Adam. I'm going to move over one claim because I need to show you some more things that Colts has requested, or at least one more thing that Walker has requested. If you actually claim something and you try this out in 3.8, I'm going to claim this land for the demonstration here. Can't you make an event like the build battle? I can do all kinds of things, Gaston. I can do all kinds of things. So this is a very, 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 very long, and this is new. So previously in 3.8, if you entered a very long description, it wouldn't actually claim, and you would have no idea why it wouldn't claim, but the description can only be about 30 characters long or 32. So now once you enter a very long description, it will turn red, and that is a pretty good indication that it's not acceptable. You can actually, so it doesn't prevent you from claiming, because if I increase the length of claim names in the future, The client might not have to know about it, so it will actually do this, but it will just pop up a text message and you will not actually claim. But if you stay under the maximal amount, like this, description, it will stay white and you can actually claim. So there you go. I didn't even know that. No. Do you have a dragon? My thing for you to try requires a dragon. I can probably get a dragon somehow, so we can check it out later, huh? Yeah, 3.9 is the Coldswalker update, but also the Obi update with the Mimic block, of course. Do photon and charger inputs also turn red if they're not one of the available ones? Photon and charger inputs. I have no idea what that means. Dragon Lady Myth says, I'm a dragon. Hey, Dragon Lady Myth. Dragon Lady Myth is a dragon over on Twitch, hum. But anyway, if the thing, yeah, hearts to you as well. If the description is like short enough, it will actually be white and it will work. If it's too long, it will turn red now and it will not work. So this is a very long description. I'm going to claim this land. Kaboom! You hear the sound. So we claim this area, and now I want to build something here. Yeah, next. And now I want to build something here. So what you had to do previously in 3.8, 3.7, 3.6, 3.5, 3 all the way back to Angeldust 1.0 in 2015. What you had to do was to get out your shovel, and here we go. You already know what here we go. You already know what I'm going to show you. You had to go and take out your shovel, and you had to go and click, and you had to click, and you had to click, and you had to click. Yeah, boy. Yes, he's actually done it. Yes, and you had to click, and you had to do that a few thousand times, which isn't very pleasant, and it isn't very fun. So what if you could, yeah, sir, click a lot. What if you could actually what if you could actually automate this process? So you could hire Mistellenary, but Mistellenary isn't always around, and sometimes they post that they're around and they actually don't reply anymore. So what if you could automate this? Yeah, so you have to dig out 7 million blocks. So what if you were the builder? Because this works for the builder only, because it's a device like these. We go to the shop, and we see here, it's the Bulldozer. Wow, that's a cool name. It actually looks like a bull. This is going to change your life. Yes, it will definitely change your life. I'll tell you what, there was one player who actually wrote a binary hack. So he wrote C code that hooked into the game and actually hacked the game, kind of, to make digging easier. And that's the moment that I knew I had to solve this problem as quickly as possible. So you get the Bulldozer out, ship it. It flattens terrain, as you can see. We're going to buy it. It's only 250 coins. It kind of falls into the utility category. Bulldozer. Tip. Flatten terrain. The detonator stops operation. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good to me. Release it. Release the Kraken. This tip, the wooden hammer doesn't apply. This is fixed in the next version. I've already, just 30 minutes ago or so, I already updated the code to not show this. Because you cannot update the Bulldozer. You can release a critical Bulldozer, but you can't upgrade it once it's live. So we're going to take the Bulldozer. Unfortunately, it's nighttime. Hopefully, you can still kind of see the model. I can move towards this lamppost over here. So it's actually a kind of a floating bull head with horns on it, and it's got a kind of like a shovel thingamajig on the front. I'm not sure what you call it, shovel blade or something. Release it right now. Yes. The thing works on entire claims, and it only works on your own claims, so you can't use this on claims where you have building permission. There's this restriction to prevent griefing, because otherwise you would just completely ruin someone's build if you had building permission and they didn't want you to release it there. So the bull can only be released on your on your own claims, and you can actually see this red bounding box. So it actually shows a red box as to which claim it will start running amok in. And as you can see, the bounding box kind of changes with every claim that you move in. Because it's a device, I'm going to talk about the restrictions first, and then you can see it in action. Because it's a device, you can't actually have them too close together, because then they will get destroyed automatically. So there's probably some method to this madness that you have with this thing. It's not expensive, indeed. Yeah. Oh, and you just finished digging 3 chunks. Do the click, do it. Yeah, pretty soon. So anyway, you see the chunk that it will, or the claim that it will work in. It only works on your own claims. If you don't see the box, oh sorry, Also, it will not be added to your hotbar, and it's in the tools category, so it is not amongst the regular devices for the builder, but you can always assign it to your hotbar if you want. If you're not in your own claim, and if you're not in a claimed area, you cannot use it, so it only works on your own claims. There you go. Missed the price, 250 coins. 250. 250. So these are the goggles, and the block picker are 100, and the bulldozer is 250. 250. Come on, show us the demonstration. Yeah, so I'm going to release it. We're going to release the bull. Yeah, because it's only a one-time use tool. If you've like landscaped or bulldozed the terrain, then you're done. I mean, then you don't need it anymore. For real though. Yeah, what up? What up? So shall we use it? I'm going to release it. So what it will do, I will tell you in advance what it will do. It will fly to the center of the claim. And from there out it will spiral outwards. Don't ask me, I could explain why it does this. It looks like kind of like a mad bull just running around in circles, and the circles get bigger and bigger. It will destroy all of the things in that slice, so it's actually kind of a drone that hovers in the form of a bull. And afterwards, once it's done with that slice, it goes to the next slice. So here we go, boom, it will fly to the center. And now it starts circling like this. It's actually kind of high up in the air, so you can't actually see it do too much. Oh, there. There you go. It starts removing blocks in this spiral pattern. It even stops at trees, so this is kind of like my wood chipper that I'm using in real life. It stops at trees and it just chomps them down. It does 40 blocks per second. I bet you can't dig that fast yourself. It does 40 blocks per second, and as you can see, I released it kind of too low, so it's actually digging below this. But once it's done with this part, it will just fly back to the center. Let's see if we can keep track of it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. It goes back to the center, it lowers one thing, and then it starts removing the next layer. Now you might... it starts in the center, so you can actually dig out a small piece if you want. So it doesn't really have to do the entire slice if you want. Because you can actually stop it. Because this is not a mad bull. It will also remove those things, by the way. It will also remove the signpost. It only removes natural blocks, so it won't destroy your building. This is partly for convenience and partly to not make mistakes as expensive, because it would really be irritating to have your entire buildings just disappear if you release the bull a little bit too eagerly. If you want to stop it, that's entirely possible. You've already deduced from the color scheme. I'm trying to keep track of it. As you can see, it's just chomping on the trees, having a good time. If you want to stop it, no problem, just take out your detonator like this. You don't even have to aim that carefully. If you see it flying around somewhere, you just bomb, boom, there you go. Bull is dead, bull is gone, and now it stops. So you can actually decide at what height kind of it starts and at what height it needs to stop. So I'm going to release another bull, here we go. It's like the bulldozer. I have no idea what it's actually going to do. It probably is going to waste a little bit of time on this top part where everything is already done. Infamous, I could have used this so many times. Yeah, that's why I'm actually now implementing it. Because like I said, someone actually hacked the game, and it was a pretty nice hack as well. So it worked really well, and the code was really well documented, and it ran really well. I got it working on my own computer to make shoveling a little bit faster. So that's why the bull is here. You can actually release multiple of them, so I will. Let's leave this one just merrily going along. Yeah, you can have multiple chunks going on at the same time, but you will have to kind of plan it a little bit. Because as you can see, I'm now in this chunk. So if I go over to this one, they will probably get too close to each other. But you can, from here out, you can kind of work in an X pattern, for instance. So we know that the bull is working in that claim over there to the northeast. Now we can move to the southeast corner over here, and we can release a bull here. Let's see what happens. Here we go. So this one flies to the center of the chunk and then starts spiraling. It's probably going to chop a lot of trees. As you can see, all of the trees are already getting shorter by the minute, by the second even. It's pretty satisfying to see all of the trees just disappear like this. You can't release 2,000 of these, Niels. You're kind of limited with what they're, where they are and what they're doing. So, if I'm correct, we can still see the one here. Just as you can see, I just moved over to the other chunk, and it's almost already done with that part. This one's probably still chopping trees. So if you do it in an X pattern, kind of, it can work. And if you do it in 2 opposite chunks, opposite of a central chunk, you can do it. Now the big magic, this makes me happy. Yeah, you need to keep the chunk kind of loaded, so you will need to revisit them every few minutes to keep them alive. The magic is that the bull will stop at 1 block level above water, so it will not dig away the entire claim, so you can actually still walk around, so you get some very flat, nice flat building space. If you actually want to remove the bottom layer as well, you just go stand in the water and then release the bull again. So it will actually stop at the kind of like the last chunk level above the water, at least if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, because it is skirting the water now, so let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Me and my big mouth, I was actually looking at this, I'm like, oh, I didn't program a bug into this, right? So let's see what happens. It should stop above the water. Yeah, it stops at 1. That's the most... there's been a few improvements this week to the bull. Previously it would not chop trees, but that's very useful, having it chop trees. As you can see, so the ground is now flat, and you can actually start building here. At least one cell level, one level of blocks is still available here. If you want the rest gone, you just dig into the water like this. Check this out. And release another bull from the water. How this works on ice, I have no idea. You probably have to do it yourself. Or maybe it works once you stand on the ice, I have no idea. But there's mostly water everywhere. So as you can see, it now removes the bottom layer of the landscape. See this? So now you can actually decide if you want water or not. Now, once it's gone, it's gone. I mean, there's no Control Z, there's no undo function for this. It's just, like you see, it's just roaming around like crazy. And now it's done. So this entire claim is now gone. Except for a few trees. So if you want these trees gone as well, we can just move on over here, release another bull, kind of at a little bit of a higher level. And this one will actually take care of the trees and the leftover blocks. So once we revisit this in a few minutes, or in a few seconds, it will actually have removed everything there. Now let's move back to our original bull. This is going to be so useful. Yeah, so the cool parts are actually that you can stop it. Make it stop. As you can see, this bull is done. It's flattened the entire terrain down to the ground level. So now it's up to us to decide if we want to actually build on this, or if we want the lower level gone as well. And also here, there's still a few blocks in the air left. So let's hop back onto this. Here we go, and release one more bull. Another bulldozer, here we go. Also, these lanterns are still here. We can probably dig out this one ourselves, that's not too much of a problem. If the bull is busy, if the bull is working on a claim, you can still do your regular work, so you can still start building. Also, let me show you, if I build manual blocks here, the bull will not touch these. This bamboo will still be there once we're gone. So... I don't even have to prove it. It works, trust me. So it will only touch the natural blocks that are like natural terrain. It will not remove your own trees, it will not remove your own blocks. It will just clean out the entire landscape. We should get a badge for having to manually dig all of our builds for so long. Yes, I understand, Infamous. Oh, you can see it, it's actually chopping at the trees. So this also works in the 3D visual style, of course. Because, let's take a look. The bull has got a little bit more detail here, but it's still got the horns, it's still got the red shovel on its front. And it's just chop, 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 and it's just wham bam, thank you ma'am. Let's see, it just has to do one more round, I think. Here we go. Oh, actually we have to remove this one ourselves, I think. This we could release another bull, this one's done. Boom, there we go. Bye, bull. Thanks for the work. Good bulldozer. Yeah, so it's only 250 coins. But the thing is, it only works on your own claims. So if you're claiming using an alt account, you have to buy the bull on that alt account, and you have to use the alt account to actually clear it. But if you're actually planning a build, and if you're like getting ready to do the construction, you just level the terrain with the alt, and then you come back with your main account to start building. It's at least much better than having to remove all of these blocks yourself. Let's see, so as you can see, it's just a little bit of manual tweaking here. Oh, I removed a block too much. Gravel, it doesn't even matter actually. So that's the bulldozer. As you can see in the 3D visual style, if you have it in your hand, there's a little bit of texture on here. It kind of looks like a mechanical bull. The item models themselves are kind of low resolution or low detail, as you're used to. So the bull is actually the same color scheme as all of the other devices. If a builder used that thing to destroy the dig machine of another player's, will it explode? Probably. There is a chance, I haven't tested this, there is a chance that you can actually explode bulldozers of other people. Yeah, that's a good question, Angelio. Do we want this, or will it not be a problem? Yeah, and Hum is going to activate all of his 8,000 alt accounts to activate the bull, or to use the bulldozer. So it takes a little bit. Yeah, so someone control a builder. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's possible. You should probably try and practice. Will it be a big problem? Because I could implement a check that checks if the bull belongs to you. I don't expect many problems with this. Because again, you can't use this in Streaming City, for instance, unless you're Streaming City. You can't use this in your own claims if you've got building permission from an alt account. You actually need to use the actual account that has the claim, otherwise the bull will not spawn. I will release one more. I don't really want to get rid of the entire landscape here. Maybe I should just do this part. Here you go. I'm going to jump. As you can see, you can also jump and release it. So let's just have this thing do its work. Let's watch it for a while. Let's get a good view here. I'm not sure if you can actually hear this on the stream, but it actually kind of makes a clicking noise if it's removing blocks. You hear kind of like chopping noise that my... oh, let's explode it. It's a little bit too low here. Another bulldozer. I'm not sure, maybe you can even release one from the tree. Let's see what happens. Yeah, there you go. So you can actually climb in a tree and then release it. Now it will have to do a little bit of extra work, but we can live with that. You can't actually see it from here. Let's see. Is this a good spot? So the idea behind the spiraling motion is both that it's a bull that's running around in an arena or in a bull pen kind of, but it's also so you can actually see it moving around wherever you are in the claim. So it will actually enter your field of view wherever you are. So it will remain active for a very long time. So if you're at in an area where there are big mountains, don't worry, the bull will probably take care of the entirety of it. It might just stop a little bit short at the bottom, but then you release another one to get rid of the last blocks. So the bull is actually at this level, so we will remove these ones. And from here on we can probably see the bull do its magic. As you can see, good bull, it flies back to the center. Sorry, can I have one bull going at the top of a mountain and another one in the middle to cut the time in half? Yeah, that's probably possible. The distance that you need to have between them is the same for all devices. So we can actually try this. Since it works from a tree, we can actually release one in the top of the bottom one will probably go slower because it has to chop the trees, and that takes a little bit more time for the bull. But that machine, is it in 3D, by the way? What? The machine, is it in 3D, by the way? What? What machine is not in 3D? So let's release one here on top of this tree. It will have nothing to do for quite a while, but if it's a high mountain, you can really imagine seeing one bull flying there. And then we'll release the other one at this level. And as you can see, there's two bulls flying around without problems. So they might get too close eventually, because the bottom one will actually start lagging a little bit, or it will take longer to remove the trees, and the top one will actually catch up. But in practice, the trees will be in the top part, so actually that one will go slower than the bottom one, and they will probably be fine. Yeah, so 5 or 6 blocks, entirely possible. Yeah, this is actually a 3D model of the bull. I'm not sure if you could actually see it, but see it go in 3D? There you go. And it's also, of course, in the cartoon visual style. It also has a backside, so I animated the front side and the backside because it's kind of important to see where it's going. But they kind of look like flies or something, just taking over the air here. The model is kind of cute. Yeah, it was supposed to be a impressive bull. It's got the horns and kind of like a shovel mouth. Make it rideable. No, it's not rideable. I was actually thinking how cool would it be to actually have a mechanical bull that you could ride, but yeah, that's not going to happen. Also, older devices take precedence, so if you place a spring nearby, for instance, it will probably fold out, but once the bull gets nearby, it will get demolished like that. And now you might wonder, why did this not get removed? This was actually the gravel block that I placed myself, so the bull sees that this is a custom placed block and it doesn't remove it. So in this case, I'm going to remove it myself. Firefly is doing his magic, yeah. This was the best I could come up with. It's been a problem, it's been an issue, it's been a request for over 4 years now. People have hacked the game, have pleaded for a solution, have asked for buttons, for widgets, for things to solve this problem once and for all. This is my best solution that I have right now. This is coming in 3.9. It's probably a little bit late. I mean, this could have been in the game earlier, but this is. I now sat down for a good solution. There was a comment by Obi who said maybe it should only remove natural blocks, and that alleviated one of the problems that I saw, where people would use the thing and their entire work, their entire hundreds or even thousands of hours of building would disappear because you pressed the wrong button and you said like, yes, I want this, and you didn't know what it was going to do. So this bull actually takes it pretty easy, step by step. You can see what it does, you can blow it up if it starts doing things that you dislike. It's everything combined, kind of. You just gave every builder the best quality of life update ever. Hey, it's not out yet. I really hope that I'm able to push this update through App Store review and things, because I'm really not looking forward to that process. I'm not sure what has changed in the meantime, but it's been a few months since I did the last update, and it's always a little bit of a like difficult situation. I'm not sure what I'm going to run into. I really hope I can release the update though, so let's not worry about that. Good bull. It's also kind of fun to see the bull just removing the entire landscape like this. I think Obi wanted a nuclear bomb to clean 5 chunks at once. Yeah, this is not perfect, and it will still take a little bit of time, but at least you don't have to click 1,000 times. Because you literally have to click 1,000 times to remove one layer. And there's sometimes 16 or 20 or even 30 layers of landscape, so that's thousands and thousands of blocks that you need to remove. The bull is a little bit better suited for that task than you are. It just slams its horns and its shovel into the area, and it's just... I love this as well, the clumps that just fall on the ground. You just walk, you can see the results of all of the hard work. So it's pretty cool. Also, this is the regular bull. If we're able to find a... let's see if we can find a treasure chest. If we can find a treasure chest, I can show you the critical bull, which works 2 times as fast, so it does 80 blocks per second. Which is a lot faster than what you're able to do. Let's see, it's removing a tree there. This is the last layer. Let's see it remove the last layer. As you can see, the top one is still going. I have no idea if I blow it up, which one will blow up. But probably a random one. Sweet. I'm not sure if the critical one isn't too fast. I mean, if you see this one, it already looks pretty intimidating what it's doing. Maybe the critical one, the black bull, might be a little bit too hard. Supercharging it by hard would be impossible because it's moving so fast. Yeah, it doesn't work. If you try to use the hammer, you can give it like one swing if you're lucky, but you can't really upgrade it using the hammer. It's also disabled because there's a problem. There's kind of... This thing is intelligent. It has this pattern, this spiral pattern, which is again, it's I think visually nice because the thing will be in your field of view most of the time. At least a few times per minute or per second even. But it's got a little bit of programming to it, so it follows this pattern. And if you would allow the hammer to replace it, then it would be the pattern would get lost and it wouldn't know what to do. So anyway, just while I'm streaming, this entire claim is now gone. And we can blow up the other one because it's apparently not going to do, evidently not going to do anything. Boom, there you go. It also has a small explosion to signal that it doesn't really hurt creatures or anything. So let's see if we can find a treasure chest, and then we'll take a look at the critical one. I would need to listen to my music playlist 3 times to clean half of the chunks I need. If we leave, the bull is still digging. Yes, it goes on for a few minutes. but after a few minutes it shuts down and you need to go back and place another bull. You kind of need to stick around a little bit for it to... it's the same as your mount and it's the same as other entities. Hey, speaking of which, there's a treasure chest. Hopefully I will be able to make it in time. Oh, we can even make 2 of them. Let's see what... This is going to be interesting. Let's teleport to one of the claims. Yeah, 2 bulls. We're going to do 2 critical bulls. Make them race. Yeah, let's see what happens. I think this is one of my areas that I can use it on. And this wasn't in the game since yesterday. So as you can see, the bull is now glowing. It's ready to get out of the gates. We're going to release it. It's going to be a black bull. There we go. You see it? It's kind of like a black, or it's at least grey. It's going like crazy. And now we need to find the chunk that we can probably do the next thing in. Let's see. That would be this one. Yeah, this one is far away enough. Distant enough. Another one. Pew! Oh, oops, I think I made a mistake here. Yeah, they're right next to each other, so probably one will disappear. The right one will disappear in a few moments. But for now they're still going, so the chance that they hit each other or they meet each other is pretty slim. But it can happen. Anyway, see this one go? This is like real speed. This is Sonic the Bulldozer. There it goes, back to the middle. Check it out, it's ferocious. How many minutes till the lottery? Yeah. Yeah, check these out. So, as you can see, you can actually place them next to each other. They will eventually, one of them will get dead, because they will get too close. But for now, they're still going on. I mean, this one is just merrily. Maybe because they're in a spiral pattern, the chance of them meeting at the outside rims is pretty small. So maybe this works better in practice than you think. I'm feeling attacked here. Master Young says hello, Master Young. Like now it's kind of hidden in the ground. Sometimes it just moves a layer lower and then it's kind of in the ground. Don't worry about it too much, it will still work. I think the second one is now dead. Yeah, so the first one is still going. But this is pretty crazy speed if you ask me. I'm not sure if it's really visible. It's kind of dark here, so maybe I should use the cinematic mode for a moment so you can actually see it. There it goes. No. But check out how quickly it just removes this entire middle area. This is all of the clumps. On Android and on iOS, on iPhone, iPad, this is probably going to lag a little bit. Because there's so many clumps just being generated, so many dust clouds as well. There we go, one more layer I think. Does someone remember Langoliers? The bull chopping down trees reminds me of this. I love it. There we go. The black is not too fast. Okay, so then the new workflow becomes find treasure chest, release the bull. Master Young, I'm not actually really sure if I'm going to understand your Portuguese here. It's a good speed. Yeah, but I think the regular bull is also pretty good. I mean, this is a nice bull as well. It's a little bit too high right now. Let's explode it. Move down a level. Here we go. It will eventually get there, so this one will be cleared as well. So we're talking during the stream, and we're just doing this like a little bit casually. But as you can see, within like 1 or 2 minutes, this entire thing has been flattened. So you can actually see that if you release a few of these in a cross pattern or on the on like chunk opposite sides, you can do a lot of work. It's always gonna be faster than doing this manually. If you disagree, I will invite you into this testing server. I will give you a login code so you can actually do this, and you may raise the bull. We'll check out who can remove things faster. Teleport to a mountain and do it. I'm not sure how to get to a mountain. These are all pretty dumb claims. I'm not sure. Do I have spaces green in here? Let's see. I know that this thing is near a mountain. Remember these? Ever seen these? This one you've seen. Thumb says I disagree. Disagree with what? That's a nice mountain over there. Some of these we can remove. So that's the version 1 painting or poster that's in the game. Who says I can dig faster, let me in. Oh, also, you see the ground glowing yellow here, which is my usual thing to say, like you need to dig up materials for money. If you use the bull, it doesn't work. So the bull will not give you coins, and it will not discover materials for you. I think that's kind of evident because it just it raises the entire ground. Probably pretty clear that that's not going to work. Let's see. I don't really want to mess up screenshots near this location, so let's move over to another mountain. Did it take long to make this, Frank? The entire game or these new features? What do you mean, Niels? It's too bad that this mountain isn't really centered on the these features. Okay, yeah. So I've been programming these over the past 2 weeks. So the mimic blocks that I showed on Friday, and just this week I started on this feature. So in 2 or 3 days I did everything from the logic in the thing, making it foolproof, to the artwork and the sounds and the 3D models and the textures and everything. So that's 2 or 3 days. I wasn't actually sure if I was going to make it. I posted to this morning. I posted like, hey, this is DevStream 2 today. The feature isn't even working, but I'm going to show what I've got. Mountains are never centered. Okay, so do we want this one or do we want that one with the corner in there? I want the one with the corner over there.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. Gaston, please be patient. The other one, yes, we're going to this one. Alright. This is pretty nice. I think this claim has got a pretty nice mountain in here. Claim it. Mountain bulldozer. Because why not? It's always nice to have a button mountain bulldozer in here. So now next one. Do the trick where you dig down a bit and release the second one. Okay, we can do that. Do we see a treasure chest nearby? I don't see one here. I don't also hear one. We're just going to do 2 bulls without any tricks. No gimmicks. I think this is the right height to release it for the snow. It's actually a little bit higher than you think. Or maybe I should just release it here. Remove move a second one here. I think this would work. And then maybe we want another one a little bit lower like this. Do you agree with me that this is a pretty good setup? Stand on the snow to be sure. You actually see the top one just merrily going back to the center, then the middle one going back to the center. Yeah, this is a new wonder, the black hole maker bulldozer. Rip the mountain. Yeah, we're going to see what happens. I've got plenty of time. I wanted the stream to last about an hour or maybe a bit longer if people had comments or ideas. So let's just do this. Let's just see what happens. The top one is just going back to the center. So again, here the bottom one will probably get stuck for a moment, because it has to chop down some trees. Hopefully there will be enough room between these to make this work. So this kind of looks like your Rhino project, except it's with the bulls. So kind of the same thing, isn't it? The bottom one is also still going, so you can still see the clumps appearing here at the bottom of the thing. Still working. And there's also an owl which is attacking me, so hopefully that owl will just fly away. Also, the pheasant is now standing on blocks that are going to be shoveled away. No problem, it will just remove the landscape and the pheasant will fall down. Now claim surround this junk and have a bunch of bulls going. How long do you think until this gets released? There's a few things that I still want to work on. There's some tweaks left and right, but hopefully if app review goes well, and that's the bottleneck for this update, app review, because Apple is probably going to say like, hey, all of these new features are not accessible in the current version, and I'm like, yeah, that's why this is an update. But sometimes they don't really understand that or want to work with me on that. So maybe next weekend, so not the upcoming weekend, but maybe the week after that. So that's kind of like the start of April 4th or April 5th, kind of. Maybe then. There's a few tweaks that I still want to do, there's a few things that I want to change. But this is coming as soon as I humanly can. A lot less work. Taming rhinos is long and laborious. Yeah, that's true. I'm not sure if this is going to work on any connection, so if you're on mobile, this is probably going to lag your device a little bit because there's so many updates of these blocks going on. Hopefully it will work without problems. As you can see on my device, on my computer, this works pretty well. We've had a crazy live stream with lots of people around, so that's not really a problem. But this will be taxing your computer a little bit more than just shuffling block by block. I hope you can imagine. But as you can see, it's actually working, so the bulls are actually taking care of this landscape. It is a high mountain though, so you can actually see that this is a pretty high mountain. One of the middle ones is actually removing a tree there. So it does take a bit of time to remove this, but as you can see, the middle one is almost done, the top one is almost done. So it looks like I kind of spaced these out perfectly. I'm just talented at this. As you can see, now the hole in the middle is being formed here. Ole! Yes, indeed, ole. My idea was that since these were devices, you wouldn't be able to spam them and you wouldn't really be able to grief things with this. But as you can see, you can still do pretty... and like in the end, you can see that everything is just removed at once, which is pretty cool. But you can still do major work with this, as you can see. This one is going back for one more round, I think. So this is probably the bottom level. And then it's probably done. Why not just make auto building? This is what people have been asking for. I don't want auto builders where you build giant cubes of the same block, because people already do that, and I don't think that's the like the top of aesthetics. I think if you really want to make something nice, you have to place blocks yourself. You can't really automate that. Otherwise, I would just have build bots that would make buildings in the game, and I wouldn't even need players. This makes building more easier. Yes, Seta. So this is called the bulldozer. It's kind of like a real bulldozer, but it looks like a bull. It's like a bull head, and you can make it remove blocks. As you can see, it only works on your own claims, but it makes it really fast to remove stuff. An alternate approach, although much less entertaining, would be to instantly derez one horizontal layer, so one click per vertical layer. Yeah, I've kind of came up with all kinds of ideas. Removing one layer at a time is also fun, so you only have to click 40 times to remove a mountain. This felt more natural, because you also want to keep the artificial buildings that are in there. This kind of like spreads out the workload and makes it fit into Angeldust a little bit better. Now it's done. Here we go. Should also be daytime
this is gonna be good.
The thing. So as you can see, the mountain is entirely gone. We can remove the other ones. Bam, that's one. You hear the explosions. Let's get rid of this bear, which is apparently a new creature type for this account.
And now we found the loot.
I think the next step would be to able to move constructions of ours ourselves. Yeah. Let's first get this thing working. I'm not sure if there's ice underneath. Oh, I discovered rock, apparently. Is there ice underneath, or is this water? It should be ice, right? It's the tundra. Right. No ice. So we can remove the bottom layer with one more bull. Do your job, buddy. And before Before it gets close, I want to get out. Let me. I get trolled by my own bull here. A man discovers rock on the live stream. Yeah, this is my life. Story of my life. It doesn't work. Yeah, so as you can see, this works really well. You can get rid of the entire landscape with the bulls. Oh, this is ice. Ice, baby. So I think if you release a bull from ice, it doesn't work. There was rock here, so let's place rock. So this block is actually, these rock blocks at the bottom were already full height. So the bot will think that this is a natural block, so it will remove it. Let's see what happens. Another cat in the box.
Nothing like that new treasure smell. Oh, divine. Oh, divine.
So if you've got ice, if you're in the Arctic landscape or something, as you can see, it will not work.
Well, that's quite
so the fortunate part is that I can place a trampoline on the ice. So you still have to click if you're on ice, but if you're on ice, you can also decide to just leave the top or the bottom layer and build on that. So there you go. It won't dig when you place. You already showed that. No, I wanted to show that it will dig this one, but it didn't. So, rip. Now that's the bulldozer. Right. It's 250 coins. It's a utility, and that's pretty cool. And to be honest, that's it. That's it. This is the new feature that I wanted to show. So that's about it. We kind of discovered it with the critical one and with the multiple ones in a chunk. I hope this works on mobile devices as well, so you don't get spammed with too many block updates. Everyone make a clan to destroy land with this. Hahaha. We gonna take the world. Thank you, the game, Firefly. You're welcome. And Neil says, what? Yeah, this is a 3-person on Android. You preach it. This is it. If someone has got ideas for the mimic block, what do you want to mimic? Let me know. So wait, it digs player placed blocks if they're the same as the natural block that spawned there. Yes, that is the idea, but it doesn't apparently work. It should work, but it doesn't. Thanks, Firefly. Thank you, Niels. It should work. Let's see. If we go to the center of this claim, it should actually start removing these rock blocks, because here was rock. This should work. It didn't dig the gravel. Which gravel? No, but that was because my gravel block is always full height, and the natural one is not full height. Go in the water and release the bull. I can also do it on the land. Let's see what happens. It should remove these, because the rock blocks that are here naturally, they are full rock blocks. So let's see what it's going to do. There we go. Good bull. Good bull. And it should also remove the bottom ones. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Yeah, there's no way to tell. There's no way for the thing to tell which blocks are natural or not if you place the exact same block there. So it actually looks like, hey, was this here naturally? And if you actually rebuild the natural landscape, it will say like, okay, this looks like the natural landscape. So that's the idea. Release it under the map. Yeah, on the path. So the gravel on the path was because my gravel block was higher, or was taller than the natural gravel block that would be there. Another cat. Alright. We've got Artem something. It's an important rule, yeah, it's an important rule.
Been looking for this.
Here's another one. Thanks, Bull, you did well.
Hey,
Can't claim in the void? No, indeed. What the void? What about it? Release it in the void. I haven't actually tried it. Shall I do this?
This place doesn't look too friendly.
Oh, it removes all your items. Can I still... No, no, no. In the void, you're limited to your void weapon thingamajig. So you can't use it. You can't release it in the void, which might seem like a letdown, but it's probably a good thing. Unless you fly in, yeah, but that's kind of hard. Right. So anyway, that's the bull. That's the last feature that I wanted to show. So one more time, the menu volume thingamajig, so you can now actually lower the volume in 10% increments instead of high, medium, and low. Previously it was at 33% was low, 66% was medium, or 67% was medium, and 100% was high. You will actually see those values of your old configuration. I'm probably going with 30%, which is a little bit, just a tiny bit quieter than usual, than before, but it's all good. Second new thing is that if you claim something, let me buy a claim, if this works, please don't crash, okay. Claim this land, so this is a very long and well-typed description. So if you take a, if you enter a description that's way too long, it will actually tell you like, this ain't gonna work, buddy. When will the next build battle be? I have no idea. Last week was pretty fun, but we probably shouldn't do it too often because then it gets a little bit repetitive or boring. I hope people enjoyed the last one, but maybe we can do one in another week or so. It's very taxing, so it will make it makes a long stream. Last one was 3.5 hours, I think. So it makes the stream very long because you build for 1.5 hours. I took about 2 hours to judge all of the things. I took it seriously, but it takes a lot of time to do things seriously. So yeah, maybe pretty soon at the start of April. Yeah, please don't crash. I knew it wasn't going to crash, but you never know with these development things. How about the week after the update so we can use the mimic blocks? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. That's actually a very good idea. So and then the theme can be mimic. Boom! We already would have a theme, so you can show off new mimic block tricks, and then we get to look at maybe potentially new techniques that haven't ever been seen before, and you can get ideas for relevance by using the mimic block in new ways that are original, and of course still beauty and detailing would hold. You want to watch 24 hours of hunting? Probably not. We want bullfight. We want bullfighting for 24 hours. This bull is pretty cute. I mean, the model that you have in your hand, like you toss it into the air and it works. Or it doesn't, because this is not a claim of mine. Pew. Hey everyone, if you watch a few old live streams after each other, you can get 24 hours of hunting. I was gonna to say one of the scores use of mimics, not make it the whole theme. Yeah, maybe the theme will be free, but the idea will be that you have to use mimics. If you don't use mimics in a cool new way, then you get no points for relevance. I think having a technical theme be the theme, or a technical requirement be the theme, that would also work. So you're actually free to do the style and the things that you are comfortable with, but you have to use mimics. Release a lot of those dig machines and then destroy all of them. Wipe them out. All of them. That was one. I'm not sure if you can actually release a lot of these. If I fall down, maybe I can release a few on the way down. There's 4 of them. There were 4 of them. How many can be released? Like an infinite amount, but they need some space. They need a bit of room to release as many so the game crashes. Yeah, you can have plenty of them. There's no shortage of bulldozers. This model is pretty fun. I like the horns and I like the design of it. In the 3D visual style, it's a little bit darker. It's a little bit more serious or something. It's like, I'm a bull and I'm going to remove your stuff. You can actually see it for a very short amount of time. Anyway, so this was what I wanted to show you. If people have requests for the Mimic block, we can take a look at some of the Mimic things to try and make a combination that works. But if you wait a few more days or maybe weeks, the update will be out and you can try it yourself, which is way more fun, of course. Again, I really hope to release this update as soon as possible. There's a few tweaks and things that I still want to add. I don't have my issue tracker with me here, so I can't really go over this list. Which I might actually do, because it's a development stream, so why not? So let me see if I can do this interactively. No, I can't do this interactively because I actually closed the thing. No, sorry. For next stream, that's next dev stream, that might be a good idea, having the issue tracker with me so I can actually call out which features I'm still looking at. But this was the cool new feature that I wanted to show. I think this is going to make a world of difference for building things in the world, the Mimic as well. So these were requests by players that I thought, like, yeah, good requests. Being able to quickly remove the land and make it ripe for building is a very good idea. This has been a request for over 4 years now, so yeah, let's do this. And the other one with the stairs blocks going into the thinner blocks and making panels, not like act as doors. Fixed with the Mimic block, one block for a good solution to both problems. Yeah, these were great additions to the game. Can we upgrade it with the hammer though? No, you can't. You can't. You know it's hard, but this is possible. It's not possible. It's explicitly forbidden in the code. I've added a comment like, the bulldozer is not upgradable using the hammer because it loses its mind, it loses its programming, its memory, so it doesn't actually do anything. If you're down deep in a hole when you release the bull, does it dig to the center, pass through solid, or fail to deploy? It will probably fail to deploy, kind of, and then just pass through to the center. It doesn't really take its surroundings into account for its movement. It just goes into the center of the chunk. It can fly through solid cells there. Pass through solid, yes. It's kind of a visual representation of a metaphysical activity. So the bull is there, it appears to be there, but it isn't. It's the physical manifestation or the visual representation of the process that's going on. And of course it is actually at the exact position of the bull, and it actually does this while you look at it, but it's not supposed to be a realistic kind of thing. It's kind of like you want this to be a game that's fun to play, and digging out thousands of blocks isn't fun, so that's why the bull is here. Oh, see you later, Angelio. I didn't know you were going. You can't? No donor? Huh? Right. So I should have my Mimic thing here, Mimic testing. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. Remember this from last week, Mr. Anderson? So this is going to be a bit of a gamble here. This is my claim. This is actually my claim. Do I dare release the bull here? Do I dare put my money where my mouth is? This one will actually remove blocks really quickly. Do it. Let's see. There's some natural landscape over there to the west. No bull, please. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. It's a good test, isn't it? Yeah, as you can see, it passes through the custom-made walls without a problem, without a hitch. So like I said, it can pass through solid objects because it has to do its task. And as you can see, it doesn't remove any of my custom-built things. One layer lower though, and it will probably start eating into the landscape, so I will demolish it. But as you can see, you can probably release this without a problem in your own things. Release it on the spawn plot. Let's see, let's go to the house. So this is my house. You would say like, hey, why can't I use it on my house? It's something that I considered. Right now it doesn't work. So as you can see, there's also no red boundary here. There's no red bounding box. I really want the bull to maybe also work for your home thing. Does it kill your house blocks? No, so it doesn't. It might be a fun idea to have that work, but I'm not sure about that just yet. Because right now you reset your house via the website, which is kind of convoluted. So maybe we should make it so that the bull also works on your house. Does it work in solo player mode? No, you can't even buy it. It's not in solo mode. Please consider. Yeah, adding these things to solo mode is probably never going to happen. It's way too much work to make it work. It's way too much work to make it work. The standalone mode is really dumb. It knows how to place blocks and remove them. It knows how to remove trees but not place them. So it doesn't know anything about the game. That's all entirely server side. It's just a 13 by 13 of wood chips, not too much to do by hand. Obi? No, but if you want to remove your house and start over, then it would be nice if the bull would actually remove your house. So there is a way to make this work, and I think I could make it work. But it adds a little bit of unnecessary, or at least it adds a bit of complication to it, because once you're on your home plot, you actually wanted to remove the artificial blocks and not the natural ones, or maybe redo the natural ones. I need to think about this. It would also be nice to remove the function from the website though, so I agree with that. It would make things more interesting in-game, because you actually move another feature from the website to the game, which is always a good thing. I need to think about this. I think I can always add it later on as well. So I think I could make it work on the server side without having to update the client. And no one plays solo except for testing things, that's what I am, yeah. Is it server-based or client-based? It's entirely server-based. So even player placed blocks, well, kind of unnecessary. We have the website. Yeah, it must be the server. Yeah, right now the website works, and I'm usually not a fan of duplicating work. But for instance, moving the friend requests and the building permissions from the website into the game was definitely a huge boost to the playability and the social, like the social activities that you can do in the game. So I'm always looking for moving. I'm always like for moving features from the website into the game, because the game is actually what people play, and the website is sometimes completely ignored by players, evidently visible by the default color schemes on many players. So moving more stuff into the game proper would be good, but this bull would get really complicated, I think. It does have an understanding of your own blocks, so it does know what your claims are, and it does know where your house is, and that you've got building permission on your house. I'm just not sure if it's not going to overcomplicate things. Because that's what I'm wary of. I really don't want this to get crashy or buggy, because it also works on houses. But it would be a nice thing to have it work on houses. Maybe in a later update. If it wasn't, people would be hacking. Yes. Quiero entrar nessa actualización muito boa. Yes, the next update is going to be pretty cool, eh? Yes. So anyway, yeah, now that I think of it, it would be nice to have the bull work in your home. It would probably still exhibit the same behavior that you see in the world, so where it goes through its spiral motion for every layer, and just also visit your neighbor's house, because somehow, or if you look at this technically, your neighbor is actually in the same chunk, in the same claim, kind of. So yeah, that's a little bit difficult, or a little bit tricky, but it probably will work if you just place it and remove your own blocks. Should we just decide on this, that I need to add that? Stream has passed 1 hour, yes, thanks for the reminder. I do have 2 hours until I need to start looking into food or anything. But I thought like this feature is a little bit smaller than a mimic block. I don't have many more things to show you. I want the bulldozer to say "Ole" when it disappears. You're right. We already one-click remove the house, don't spend time on it for a house. Yeah, but it might not be apparently or readily visible for most players. Also, there is a bug with the remove house feature from the website. Some players have removed their house. Infamous, you're still watching? Infamous once removed their house, and the house was re-rendered. It was visible on the website, and then it got buggy. It just disappeared somehow. And that happened to a few players. I think it also happened to Ruan. Probablemente una para de Valesodinho. Sure, add it, but in a later update. We don't want this to delay it. Infamous says yeah, and Ruan too. So some players see their house disappear in front of their eyes. I thought you fixed that. Yeah, I thought so too. But apparently it's still a thing. And I offered Ruan at least to restore their house from a backup, and Ruan said like, no, it's good, it's fine. I just make another house. So maybe maybe the problem is in the house rendering code. So maybe it doesn't even have anything to do with the server side, because I actually can't find any bugs or any problems in the server side. So that would kind of lead me to believe that it's on the in the house rendering setup, which would also still be a problem if the bull would do this. So maybe the website is good enough for now. Yeah, let's decide the website is good enough for now, because otherwise the bulldozer gets a completely problematic description where it says like it flattens terrain and you can demolish your house. No, it's just now it says flatten terrain, flattens terrain, flatten terrain, and stop it with the detonator, or the detonator stops operation, and stops in capital letters, so people are bound to notice. You use the detonator to stop the bull. My new house is much better. I have a table and 2 chairs. Luxurious. If you click the destroy house button, don't rebuild until the website reflects the change. Yeah, but you need to sign in, and then your house disappears, and then you can actually start building. And it works. I mean, there have been many houses, I think, built, and I've tested this extensively because this bug keeps getting reported. If you remove your house and you just instantly build something new, the website will show your new house, and there will be no problem, except a few of the times, your house will then disappear, and it's not even while you're playing. It's not clear why, and I think it's got something to do with the house rendering logic. So maybe there's a bug in the synchronization there that I need to work around. But in the server code I can't find anything wrong, and the data gets saved. So I looked into Ruan's case, and the data gets saved, I think in Infamous's case as well, and Lucy's case. So please notice that this happens to people who are playing a lot. So maybe it does happen more often than I think. So maybe the problem is outside of the server code. The server code seems very solid, and it actually gets saved using the proper constructions. So I'm not sure where to look at that. It looks more like data corruption, where an old version of the database tuple, so the row in the database, doesn't get updated, something like that. It baffles me. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, anyone got some ideas that we want to check out with the Mimic blocks, or shall we just call this the stream? You can also ask me other questions about the development of the game if you want. Again, unfortunately I don't have my issue tracker open. There's just a few tiny things that I want to add to the game after this to make the update complete, because I want this update to last for another longer time, so that players are happy with it. I think the Mimic block will definitely add a lot of things to experiment with for a long time to come. I can try to start up my issue tracker. Let's see, what can I remember? There's one thing about there that Alex suggested, which I can't talk about because I want it to be a surprise, which will probably take about a day or so. There's... yeah, that thing, Hum, is kind of on the back burner. I don't want that to delay the update. And it's server side, so I can actually roll out a server update or maybe a website update without having the client wait on that. Let me see if I can fire up the issue tracker. I'm not sure if this is going to work. Give me a second. I'll be right back, otherwise the camera will look a little bit weird. Off topic, but why doesn't first-person view work on a dragon? Because then you sit on a flat dragon. You cannot mount any creature in first-person view. I hope you can still hear me at least. One moment, I'm going to type some things. Yeah, I don't like the way it looks. You sit on a completely flat... you can probably still hear me, right? You can hear me. Yeah, you can hear the in-game sound. Yeah, so in 2D style, you sit on a flat thing. Hum has asked me for a Raspberry Pi executable, or not an executable, or a Raspberry Pi thing. I understood that people are going to spin up a Discord bot, and Hum would like the bot to have some capabilities. Have some knowledge about the game and be able to provide players with answers. Okay, so phase 1 is complete. I'm signed into the other computer. This is looking up. Now I just need to wait for it, because why not? We have to wait for this. Alright, I think I'll be able to go back to the regular camera now, so you can see me again. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm actually going to do a Raspberry Pi build. That's way out on the horizon. I think there are bigger platforms to get players on at the moment. I do understand the idea of being one of the only games available on the Raspberry Pi, or one of the many games. I'm not sure how many games are available on Raspberry Pi, but I don't see the commercial opportunity there just yet. I don't know of an app store or a store where I can centrally post this, where people will be viewing it en masse. Also, there's a problem with the sound thing. I don't have a fmod binary, and I don't have a Raspberry Pi 4. I do have an old Raspberry on which it ran. The game ran perfectly fine. Kind of. A full screen on 1280 by 1024 pixels. So it was playable, it was enjoyable. But there were a few things that Hum wanted to, or at least one thing that Hum wants to make accessible from outside. I said, like, okay, I can probably do this by expanding the website. Alright, now I need to click on the right buttons over here on this screen. Click. And then select 3.9, one moment. Hey, it's a development stream. I think this is definitely part of a development stream, kind of giving a short overview of what I'm working on, or will be working on. Hello? Yeah, doing that by website is what I assumed you were going to do. Yeah, that's the idea. I mean, I like the idea of the Discord bot being a bit more useful, or being knowledgeable about the game. Maybe I'll add a feature to the official website as well, because I think it might be fun to kind of show some more information on the website, and if I'm going to extract that, why not? But definitely share that on Discord as well. Right, so I've got a few bugs that I need to work on. Supposedly, and I'm not sure about this, but I need to dig into this. Does anyone have experience with the photon imitator? It imitates creatures. While working on the bulldozer, I encountered a situation where I think if you have an imitated creature that is affected by gravity, so like a bear or like almost any creature type, so not the drakeling when it's flying, but ravens or owls, that they are not affected by gravity, kind of. If you have a creature type that's affected by gravity, which is pretty much all of them, I think the imitated version of them has got double gravity applied. Don't ask me why or how I know this, but that sounds like a bug. It's very minor, but I saw this and I thought, like, this needs to be fixed, which is probably only 30 minutes of time investigating and rewriting the code to be more consistent. Yeah, question marks? I have no idea what you mean, Master Young. So that's a bug that I want to log into and fix. Then Alex's request, he had a cool idea that I think I can add to the game pretty easily. I want to check that out to make some things a little bit more spicy. Then need Hum's request of externalizing some information about the game so that a Discord bot or anyone else, for that matter, can take a look at it. The bulldozer is also on my list, but that kind of hangs on this live stream to get some feedback and to see if this design would work. I think no OB, because the ravens are not affected by gravity. I think that's a trick. So the ravens are probably fine, but other creatures will drop down a lot faster, or too fast, like 2 times as fast. They will have double gravity applied, but I'm not entirely sure, but I think they've got double gravity. Ship it, Hum says. Okay, so this I can probably close that issue. Then there's a bug, a very old bug, cluster bunnies being untamable. I still don't believe this, because there's no reason why cluster bunnies would be untamable. This was a situation I think reported with Lucy and some others, where people could not tame the bunnies. My first plan would be to add more debug information and to kind of track these actions a little bit more. I'm not sure. I think when they spawn, I'm not sure. I need to dig into this bug. It's a minor bug. I will probably spend only 15 minutes investigating and probably 15 minutes rewriting OB, so this is not a biggie. But anyway, the bulldozer, that's going to be wrapped up after the stream because I think it works. The artwork has kind of been improved as far as you can all see it. So the cluster bunnies being untamable, I have no idea what's happening there. There is no logical reason as to why especially those bunnies would be untamable. There's no bug in the code there. There's absolutely nothing going wrong there. So I don't understand. Yes, I can't not, indeed. Yes, I can't not either. Yeah, in the progress overview, 3 bark blocks count as materials, someone said. That's probably going to remain a bug or a thing. I'm not sure, because they are kind of materials, so they count towards this one. I will probably have fixed the over 100% feature. That's something that you will have to test in practice. But as far as I can tell, and as far as I can kind of go through the code, the over 100% thing should be fixed. Now you might ask, why don't you know for sure that it's fixed? Because I can't really test all of the combinations of unlocked items, but I think it should be fixed. And Hum says, I'm pretty sure the pet snack was spammed, cluster bunny tamed and released with new... Yeah, that's what I think as well. So far I've been ascribing this to user error, or at least, not error, but user clicking thingamajig. There's absolutely no reason to believe why... Oh, my telecharger goes into the wall. Why it wouldn't work. I think if you apply a little bit of discipline, it works. And yeah, discipline is kind of important. Yeah, banned. So anyway, let's see. So right now I've got 41 materials. And the idea is that if I buy 3 bark blocks, that goes up. Item bought and unlocked. Yeah, 42 materials. Yeah, it does. I'm not actually sure if this contributes to the over 100 for the materials. I might investigate this a little bit more. I will look into this once more. So anyway, that's on my list. And then the other things are pretty much done. The 3D hero models, facelifting them, Robotic is working on it, but because we've got the coronavirus in the Netherlands as well, he doesn't have a lot of time to work on it. He said, like, don't wait for me on this for this next update, which sounds like a good advice, so I'm not going to wait on that. And I had another idea to improve the visuals of the game a little bit, but I think that can wait for another update. It will be relatively minor, and it might be combined with another visual update, for instance with the new textures for the hero models. So... there we go. Yeah, no, I'm not going to give you ban powers just yet. I have trouble containing my own powers at times, so please let's not start banning people. Like I said, I made a few mistakes in the past, and I really don't want to have other players make those mistakes as well. So let me do the banning for now, and if I do it wrong, at least it will be my responsibility. Ron says I have my list too. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I should probably implement a firewall for Brazil, so everyone coming from Brazil, bye-bye. Apparently Ruan is a little bit not happy sometimes with the players from Brazil. Anyway, does anyone want me to do something in-game with the mimics? Do you want me to check out some combinations or try to make some kind of build or a combination? But anyway, these are the few things that I still want to work on for this update. With this test on the live stream now done, I think we can safely ship this and say, like, this looks as good as done. All of the client side stuff is there, so if the server is a little bit buggy, I can fix bugs in there later on. But for now, the client is the most important part. I mean, the bulldozer sounds good, looks good, works well, so what's not to like? It would solve 75% of the issues. Great. So the other things are relatively minor. So imitated creature gravity, I'm just going to look into this real quickly. The Alex thing will probably take a day. I want it to be a fun new expansion to the game, or at least a surprise, kind of. Hum is probably going to complain about it, but yeah, sorry Hum in advance. It was Alex's request, and I think it was a fun idea for the game. Then the website extension, so that more information is available to outside things. The hero facelifting, that's postponed. Bulldozer, as good as ready. Cluster bunnies being untamable. Yeah, I'm going to chalk it off as yeah, probably user error. progress overview materials. I need to look into that one more time to make sure that if you've got everything unlocked, you actually don't get the over 100% unlock thing. Hum complaints, say it isn't so. I do say it. Give banned permissions to the GMs, to the game moderators, and 88% of the Brazilian players will disappear, probably. What inspiration for you to make this game? When I was a little kid, maybe your age, Gaston, maybe even a little bit younger. When I was a young kid, I wanted to make a game where you could play with your friends and you could build a world and have adventures in it. Back then I wasn't as advanced as right now, and the computers weren't as advanced as they are right now. And a few years ago everything came together and I started making this game. And so far you're looking at the labors of a few years of work. And it's been pretty fun. It's been a wild ride making this, meeting new people who like the game, meeting new people who don't like the game, trying to make the most of it with the live streams. And right now it's hanging on the promotion and marketing, but I took a few weeks now to expand the game in a way that seems logical and seems good to entice new players to start playing as well. You followed your dream. Yeah, that's what we always say, indeed. So I try to, I still try my best to get this dream to end on a high note, and there's a few more plans in the making. The Steam release was a little bit of an unexpected event in the sense that not as many players bought the game or started playing as I wanted them to. But hey, what can you do? It was it was like the next big shot that we had at getting players involved in the game. So now I'm looking for new things to get that working, get it going. I used to have 3D mode on Android and it worked fine, but the option disappeared with the last update. What happened? Infamous, you might have switched from the Google Play Store to the itch.io version. The itch.io version has got the 3D in there. The Google Play Store version doesn't have it. So maybe somehow it got replaced with the Google Play Store version, and then you need to log in with your itch.io account and get the itch version again, the standalone APK. It's a bit bigger though, so the Google version is 50 megabytes and the itch version is about 150 megabytes. So that's the difference between 3D and no 3D and a little bit higher quality textures. Looks like if you haven't bought the itch version yet, you need to buy it, because there was this change from 3.7 to 3.8 where it became a paid game. The link is on the website. If you go to the website and then click download for PC and Mac, sounds a little bit unintuitive, which I also need to fix in the future, but there's the 3D version for Android. You also get access to the Windows, Linux and Mac versions without DRM, so that's pretty cool. It's the most expensive version, it's $8, but you get all of the platforms without DRM or any nag screens or any things, so that's the cleanest way of getting the game for all platforms. Except of course for iPad and iPhone, because Steve Jobs doesn't want you to do that. Alright, I'm shutting down my issue tracker here because we went through it. So there's just a few things that I want to tweak and fix. $8, yeah, $8, yes, wow. $8. Right, so there's no mimic requests. We saw the bull. The bull doesn't work here, which is good. I'm going to sign out of the game. Let's re-enable the game replays for the actual next live stream. Go to the desktop. So yeah, it worked. The sound worked. The sprites worked in 2D and 3D. The entire thing worked. We could buy it. It showed up on the thing, so everything seems to work fine. I spent a lot of time getting this right, and it was completed about 1 hour before the stream started. So I actually started setting up the stream, and I had about 10 minutes to sit in the sun. It's still up, so I hope to go outside in a few moments and still enjoy the sun a little bit. This was the thing that I wanted to show you. Release it. Yes, release. Oh, Infamous, here you go. So you go to the website and then click on this button, download for PC and Mac. Then you get to the metagaming.h.io website, and as you can see it's $7.99, and then you get Angeldust for Windows, for Mac, for Linux, for Android. And you even get a minimal version for Windows if you don't have a lot of disk space. It's only 90 megabytes, give or take, extracted. It's a little bit bigger, but it's you get all of the versions forever. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is just-in-time development, indeed. I was I was actually sweating profusely. I was like, oh, I need to do... when I woke up this morning, I knew what I had to do. Had to do 3D modeling. I had to do the item modeling, the animation for the 3D thing. It doesn't have a lot of animation, but I still needed to do it. I needed to integrate all of the artwork, get all of the things compiled and optimized for use in the game. Then I had to go over every line of code that I changed to make sure that it was as efficient as possible and there were no bugs in there. I actually fished out a few bugs left and right, so I always take about 1 or 2 hours to go through all of my things. I try to program... The code for this is my best code I've ever written. It's really clear, it's really concise, and it's really foolproof. Everything is like... you can't make mistakes except for one, and I made that mistake, so... there was this issue where sometimes the bot would get in the wrong program and it would dig completely down on just one block. It would just go completely down and say like, I'm done, and would just give up. And I was like, no. You need to do the spiral on every level. And that bug only occurred because I added chopping trees. If I hadn't added chopping trees, that bug would have never surfaced. But, oh, we've got a caller. That's the first bulldozer buyer, I think. Yeah, you want the Android version? Go to itch.io. There you go. Yeah, you get 3 persons for Android. That's pretty cool. But anyway, that bug is fixed. And other than that, I went through every line of code, and it looks good. It looks solid. Leyenda was a little bit concerned. Leyenda said, "I've been playing this game, and I don't have much memory or storage on my mobile. And you keep adding updates, and pretty soon, with bigger updates, I cannot play." And I said, like, please don't worry. The game will, at least on Google Play on Android, will always be around 50 megabytes, which unpacks to maybe 60 or so, or 70, I'm not sure. But the game isn't going to get any bigger. I really pay attention to keep everything within 50 megabytes. I know a lot of people are on older devices there, or on like Android 2 or 3 even, with just a few megabytes of storage space. So the game will not grow bigger on Android, on the Google thing. It will grow a little bit bigger on the Metagaming side, because that's the deluxe version, kind of, with everything that Infamous wants. Just missing ARM Linux. Yeah, the problem is, for x86, 64 bits, I can kind of say, like, you need glibc this, and kind of say, like, you don't need any external resources. For the Raspberry Pi version, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Also, I am not sure if there's... is this there, fmod for Raspberry Pi? That's my main blocker. If you don't have sound, the game isn't as fun. So, let's see, is there fmod for Raspberry Pi now? I can try to make a build once I've got the time for this, but I don't want this next update to block on it. And also, adding a new platform isn't as easy as just adding a platform. You also need to get the compiler tool chain running in a predictable way, and you will need to support it forever. So it would be a very big step to say, like, we're going to do a Raspberry Pi build. I'm trying to create a small app for Raspberry Pi. I like to add to use fmod on it. I can't get it to work. Oh, here you go. Yeah, so running into sound systems. Yeah, this is 5 years ago, of course, but I'm not sure. Download. You need to log in with your... Yeah, I'll see if this is available. Because Angeldust without sound isn't as fun. I don't need sound. No, you don't, but others do. It might just be available. It might be more available than I think. I'm not sure what this side is going to be. Fmod running on Raspberry Pi. Yeah, nice Raspberry Pi you've got here. Kind of looks like a MacBook. Fmod Studio Linux. ARMHF. Whoa. Hold up. This triggers me. In a good way. This triggers me to... I need to... I'm not looking at the camera, I'm looking behind the camera for a moment. Give me a second. Now this is Android. Let's see. This is Android. We don't want that. Right, so I've got an older version of fmod that I'm using on Linux. Let's see if there's an armhf folder in there. Oh, there is. There is. So apparently it's been there all along. I was there all along. Make a translator for the game to understand more. What kind of language do you speak, Gaston? And Guillermo says, Brazil, la 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 la. We need Angeldust in Nintendo Switch. Someone is knocking his window. No one's knocking the window. So apparently this has been here all along. I just never took a look. So there is an ARMHF library, looks like. Also a regular ARM library. So Angeldust on Raspberry Pi might be more likely than you think. Problem is, I don't know where the market is. I'm not sure where to get people enticed for Angeldust on Raspberry Pi. It would work really well. It would be fun to play, I think, especially because it works with the game controller, and many people have hooked up their Raspberry Pis with the game controller to their PCs to have like old school game emulation on there. So it would be nice to play Angeldust on such a device on a TV with just a controller. I mean, it's made to be a controllable game as well. But I'm not sure where the market is. Where do I promote this to Angeldust or on Raspberry Pi users? Can someone investigate this? Is there a Raspberry Pi binary shop or something? Please investigate and report to me. Tell me where the market is. Also, I'm not going to do flat pack binary things or anything. Raspberry Pi App Store. I know Ubuntu has got something like that. Raspberry Pi on the... This sounds like a scam. Introducing the Pi Store. Hey. Oh, this is only 8 years ago. The Pi Store. Is this actually used? Is this a thing? Anyone who got a Raspberry Pi can tell me, is this a thing? Does this work? Do you actually get your games from here? Where is it? Yeah, these are links to the actual project. I want a link to the Pi Store. Where is it? Is there only news about it, but it never launched, or what? Pi Store, here we go. Raspberry Pi Store. Pi Shop. The Raspberry Pi Store. We have a shop. Yeah, this is something else. I didn't get hacked. Really, I didn't get hacked. Pi Store shutdown. As you may be aware, recent changes to the treatment of tax for sales within the EU forced us to remove all paid-for content from the Pi Store in the middle of 2015. Without a revenue stream, it is no longer economical for us to operate the Pi Store. Right. So that's probably why I haven't seen this. So then I need someone. I mean, I can make a Raspberry Pi binary, and it would probably run fine, and it would even have sound apparently. So that's all good things, and it's really fun to play on a Raspberry Pi. Just having this device play the full game of Angeldust. It's not a trimmed down version or anything, but I need someone to point me to where I can promote it or where I can get people to buy it. It will take a lot of time to get this port up and running back at the level where it was. And I can do this. I can buy a new Raspberry Pi and I can hook it up and I can make sure that there's a development environment and I maybe cross-compile this. But I need to, or I want, that's maybe the thing. I want to make sure that people are actually going to get it. So if someone can do some research on that and maybe ask like, hey, would you play this game? That's a bad question. That's a bad question. We need players who play games on Raspberry Pi that are similar to this, who would be willing to pay a few bucks. Because I could add it to the Metagaming itch.io page, so you get the exact or an additional option there. Or maybe it could be part of the Linux build because it would be virtually identical. So you get this download for Linux x86, and there it should be a separate one. So for Linux and another one, maybe a minimal version or maybe a kind of trimmed version for Linux on ARM. It is a possibility, but I need to see the market. Everyone is gone. Everyone is just logged out of the YouTube stream here. So maybe I should start sitting in the sun for a few moments before I start looking for food. Another one on itch sounds good. Yeah, that's but that doesn't mean it's going to sell, because you can't actually tell itch that it's a Raspberry Pi version of the game. Hey Frank, why don't you type this? Games for Raspberry Pi. Still on. 11 classic Raspberry Pi games you can play without emulators. I don't want your cookies. Please. No. Please no. No, not. I don't want any of these. I don't want your features. I don't want your cookies. Yeah, we blocked the fingerprinter. Alright, so that's a classic game, but you would need to buy it. That's a classic game, you would need to buy it. That's a classic game, you would need to have it or buy it. That's a classic game, you would need to have or buy it. That's a classic game you need to buy. That's a classic game you need to buy. I'm not sure what this is. Emulated. You can try the freeware clone. Okay, so this is actually great. I'm not exactly sure what that is. This is what you need to buy. This is free, and this is okay. Gaston, I'm still on. I'm by. There we go. Right. Yeah, so I have no idea if there's a market for this. If there is a market for a proper version of Angeldust for Raspberry Pi. I like the idea, but then you get into troubles with different Linux distributions. I fixed it for x86 because I can test a lot of these in virtual machines, which is rather easy. For ARM, it's a little bit more difficult, I think. Maybe QEMU or something would work, but I have no idea about that. But anyway, if you're watching this and you've got ideas for commercializing or like promoting this for Raspberry Pi users, that would be great. I think there is a market for games like these on Raspberry Pi. But let me know where the market is. So it would be nice. It might be doable within a week to have a build working on different versions of Raspberry Pi and different versions of Raspbian, for instance. But I want to sell them. So this was the stream for today. Thanks everyone for sticking around. So the big new feature today is the bulldozer. It removes blocks and trees in your own claims, so you can actually end up with a nice flat piece of land to build on. It will remove all the way down to the water level, just one block above, and if you want to remove that block as well, or that layer, you go into the water, release another bull, and it's gone. Yeah, all those Ruan pics, yeah, they are ruining my desktop. Release it as soon as possible. The other features that I could show you today were the new volume control, where you can set the volume in 10% increments. Hopefully, Colts Walker, take a listen if you're still listening, or if you're watching this on YouTube later on. Take a listen to the sound volume difference. I think with 10, 20, and 30%, you've got a kind of more dynamic range in that lower, that quieter part of the volume range. So hopefully this accommodates your request. The other thing is that if you start entering a land claim description while claiming in the game, it will turn red if it's too long, which is pretty useful. And then, of course, the bulldozer, which we talked about at length. So there's a few more, 43 minutes of coding for that. I tracked it in my issue tracker. I said time tracker start, time tracker stop, and I knew exactly how many minutes it would have it took. And I also refactored some of the old code, so it was longer than 30 minutes. But maybe I'm just bad at doing this. Anyway, so some other things that I still want to look at, and I really want to get this update submitted to the App Store as soon as possible, which might be as early next week. And I have no idea with the coronavirus situation if Apple are able to actually review it as well as they could before. Previously, if I sent in an update, it would take 1 or 2 days to review. It might be longer now, so I have no idea. I have no idea if it's going to be approved, because there's major changes now that they can't test in-game. We've been there a few times before, and I've always been able to get the update through, but I have no idea what's going to happen. There is a possibility that any update of Angeldust is going to be the very last update that I can do, because I can't update platforms anymore. Hopefully 3.9 is able to roll out with the Mimic and with the Bulldozer, very nice additions that I want. They can work from home, it's fine, I hope so. If you buy a Pi 4, would that change? If I buy you a Pi 4, would that change things? A little bit, but I'm still concerned with the compatibility hum. So there's many different distributions that you can run on there, many different versions of distributions that you can run on there. I can't rely on the Raspberry Pi to work forever, so I probably want to have an emulator or build chain on my main development machine. So I would have to have a ARM QEMU environment or something. I need to custom compile LLVM to optimize this to the core. I see lots of problems, but I also know that it's worked before, so I know it could work. I know it can work. Oh, it seems like developers have more time. Hey, same here. I've been working on the game more since Corona as well. Hey, at least it looks like that, because I'm not making new trailers like this or facelifting the heroes. So anyway, you know what I'm doing. You've seen what I've been doing. You know what I'll be working on next, and I really hope to get this update out as soon as possible. Maybe next weekend, so not the upcoming weekend, but the weekend after that. Really hoping that it's out by then. I always love to release it on a Saturday, because then everyone who's playing the game tends to join the live stream, which is always fun. And if we do a build battle the week after the update release, then people can get playing with these mimic blocks for 1 week, and then they can show off their skills the next week, which sounds very cool. Master Young, see you later. Thanks for dropping by. So this was it. If you've got additional ideas or questions, or if you know answers about the Raspberry Pi thing, let me know and I can take a look. Again, it's possible. It's entirely possible to get it running on Raspberry Pi, but if I put in the work, it would be nice to see a little bit of rewards for that. And I'm not sure if people on Raspberry Pi are willing to pay for the software. Maybe some of them are. Maybe some of them only use it as a hobby thing, where they use the GPIO connector to automate things in the real world. But I do know that some people are using emulators to play on the Raspberry Pi, so seems like it's a good fit for that. But I'm not sure what to do about it. It would run. I think I would be able to get it running in a reasonable amount of time, and maybe even with sound, as I just investigated. But I'm not sure where to take it. But that's not the most important thing right now. 3.9, getting that out of the getting that out of the gates would be great. So thanks for watching, thanks for playing. I hope to see you all on Saturday, when there will be a regular Angeldust live, regular starting time as well, 1700 hours UTC. We'll actually play the game and we'll talk about these things if you want, or other things if you want as well. Don't expect the build battle, that will be a bit later on. Don't expect the update either on Saturday already. That will need a little bit more time, but maybe the week after that. That would be nice. And again, if you know people who might have answers about this Raspberry Pi thing, or maybe about promotion or marketing in general, that's always much appreciated. 3.9 is priority. Yes, that's how I'm treating this as well. Some people have asked me to visit their builds and visit their to-be wonders. That's pending this 3.9 release. I'm really focusing on the release and getting this done, and then moving on to other things. So I'm really sorry to kind of prioritize the development of the game over looking at your buildings. Those are pretty important to you, and you spend a lot of time on those, I'm pretty sure. But I just need a bit of time to get the update out, so you can actually make even cooler things and even faster. So there you go. Great dev stream. See you on Saturday. Peace out. Yeah, that's about what I was going to say. Thanks for watching, and thanks for playing, and thanks for talking, and thanks for the ideas. Thanks for the feedback on the new features that you saw. So far, I'm very confident that these will live up to your expectations, so that's good to know. And I will do my best to get the update out as soon as possible. I'm not sure if there will be another dev stream anytime soon, because I think most of the new features, the cool things to show and talk about, I've done now. But the format is there, so the next dev stream, I can just take out the entire format and the entire thing, and we can do another one. Once I start on 3.10, or maybe on some side things that I want to show you. Maybe the Raspberry Pi build once it gets there. But as like for now, these 2 additional streams have been fun to do. People were at home due to Corona. It's been fun to do these a little bit earlier in the day. It's more convenient for me, and I can also show you some cool stuff. So I think it's been a nice addition to the streaming schedule here. If you've got ideas for other streams or things to talk about or to do, just let me know. Goldswalker has also posted a thing on the forums like, hey, this diversity in the live streams is very cool. Let's see if we can keep it up, maybe get some more ideas going. So let me know, and I can take a look. this was it for today. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all of your energy, and I hope you all stay safe and have a nice week up to the weekend, and I hope to see you on Saturday. Yeah, type your message here. That's a good closing to this stream. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the feedback, and thanks for the ideas. I hope to see you again on Saturday. Have a nice week. Have a nice day. See you later. Peace out.